All right, Gemini, welcome to your weekly horoscope. My name is Athen, and this is for January 19th to the 25th. And if you're new to Sidereal Astrology, please check the description down below. All right, Gemini, so we've got good emphasis this month on your 8th house, well, this week in particular. And this has to do with the depths and the more meaningful aspects of life, also going deep, seeing what's really important to you. You know, that's what the 8th house symbolizes, is going beyond the surface level of things. And this is, of course, in relationships, it's in work, it's anything that you're involved with. It's just all of life in general. And so we have the new moon taking place on Tuesday, which is signifying the whole energy of this week. But before that starts, we do have this continuation of this Pluto-Uranus square with the nodes. And this week is especially emphasized with the nodes. The South node is going to be going conjunct over Uranus in that 10th house of yours, which has to do with work and career and these types of things. So there's some old notions, there's some old ideas about work and career that are being released, and this is what the South node symbolizes, because it's past life, it's past energy, and it's all for your freedom. You know, it's all to invoke a new sense of self. There's some sort of attachment that's holding you back in terms of how you can enjoy your work, career, or anything public related more in your life in general. So this is a week where there can definitely be some shifts in regards to it, especially from the Monday, Wednesday time period when this aspect goes exact. So allow yourself to take the time now to release anything associated with those 10th house matters and go within, because this is definitely the time for you to do so. Now also on Monday we've got Mars conjuncting up to Neptune, which is this whole 9th house matter of long distance travel, you know, anything abroad, philosophy, wisdom. You've had Mars here, so perhaps some of you have been really studying a lot, or getting involved with some spiritual things, or perhaps wanting to travel or doing some traveling. Whatever that is, there's definitely still going to be energy for you in that 9th house. However, especially around Monday, Tuesday time period, you want to really just take that present approach to it. Neptune is reminding us to have that presence and peace and flow in what we're doing, that now moment awareness. And when we have that, then the whole process will not only become much more smoother, but we'll enjoy it a lot more as well. So when these two planets come together, it's about that. It's also about selfless action and selfless activity. So for those of you involved in anything such as university or sharing wisdom with others, which is also 9th house, doing so in a very compassionate and spiritual and present sort of way. Really focusing on others, having that other-oriented energy, because Mars is very self-oriented, and so Mars doesn't really like to go over Neptune, but when he does, it's a reminder that everything we do is for the greater good. Now, also on Monday, we've got Venus going opposite up to Jupiter, and this is a balancing here, perhaps some indulgence, and this can be a healthy indulgence if it's taken in a very grounded way. And so it's involving your 8th house and your 2nd house. So all of this new beginning here, this whole month and this week, in terms of your transformation, the deeper aspects of life, also shared resources too with the 8th house. Whatever this is, there's definitely some enjoyment that you've been having or could have in the deeper elements of life, but you want to make sure that you're balancing it with the more mundane aspects of life, or the physical enjoyments. You have this opposition here, and again, it can be a very enjoyable opposition so long as you're balancing both the deep elements with the material elements. You don't want to get too caught up into one or the other. An example of that would be, you know, not getting too caught up into the senses and just enjoying the simple pleasures of life, such as like the good meal, the good bath, and then ignore, you know, the more deeper elements, and vice versa. So you want to make sure there's a nice balance between the physical and the deeper in your life, in terms of your enjoyments in particular, because these two houses by themselves have to do with our pleasure and enjoyment. Now on Tuesday we have the new moon taking place, and this is in that 8th house that I talked about. So there's some sort of discipline and mastery taking place here. It is happening in Capricorn, which rules your 8th house. So you guys naturally do have this sort of disciplined approach and you know, structure approach and understanding to the whole transformational process and the deeper elements of life, and you take that part of your life seriously. So that's good, and you want to continue to do that this week. Really use this new moon to reflect in terms of how you can get more disciplined with the things that are really important to you in life, and really think about those things. Because then on Wednesday we do have Mercury going retrograde in that 8th house, and he's going to be retrograde all the way into February. So there's definitely something to be learned here and reworked in terms of the 8th house. So pay attention around the new moon, because that's naturally what we want to do. Then as the week starts to unfold, you'll start to gain more energy and more momentum to put into those 8th house matters, the real deep connection to your work, or deep connection to your relationships, whatever it is, or the shared resources. And then through that, naturally, you'll be utilizing this whole, as the moon fills up, you'll be utilizing that energy. But you want to do so in a way that's treating the whole process as a learning experience. This Mercury retrograde, it's about making sure that we are learning in the process. Now, it's not that we don't want to do things. Oftentimes people talk about Mercury retrograde in terms of not doing stuff. It's not like that. It's just that you want to treat it as a learning experience. So you don't want to obviously dig yourself too deep of a hole that you can't climb out of because you're learning. You want to take it nice and slow and easy, and any mistakes that you make, you want to treat them as a learning experience and opportunity. And as long as you approach it in that way, then there's a tremendous amount of flow in that area. So implementing the 8th house this week and then into February as well, by taking that learning approach, being open to the whole experience of it. Now on Thursday, we've got Venus going into your 9th house of Aquarius. So where there's this sort of presence and energy also this week in terms of those 9th house matters. Now when Venus goes in there, this is a time to really start to enjoy 9th house activities from Thursday onward. There's a flow that starts to take place towards the end of the week, and it is involving this 9th house. So perhaps enjoying the travel, enjoying some things abroad, philosophy, spiritual studies, these types of things, making sure your connection to the divine and the higher realms is nice and solid, or open rather. And so that type of energy there is very enjoyable. So it's really just about enjoying these things, and then naturally, enjoying the philosophy, enjoying the traveling, and naturally that Venusian energy will come about and it will create that flow and harmony. Now on Thursday and Friday, we do have the Sun sextiling up to Saturn. So this is where things start to become much easier. Again, with the whole disciplined approach to things, with this whole new moon in Capricorn. Now with this Saturn sextile, there's a nice flow, and it's flowing very much in regards to that 8th house. So with the moon starting to fill up around towards the end of the week, now's the time to really start to put in that energy. You're going to notice a nice support beacon, and it could just be a shift in consciousness in terms of, okay, this is how to take perhaps the more disciplined approach to this whole transformational process. All right, Gemini, well, I hope you have a fantastic week. I want to thank you all for all of your support. If you'd like a personal reading, please get in touch, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.